Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy Boulanger, and up next, we're going to be talking about Baltimore Ravens camp hopefuls from week 2 preseason. Baltimore Ravens versus the Commanders. Do me a quick favor, hit like. Also, hit subscribe if it is your first time watching the GM. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's go. So, as I stated in the first video from today, I thought holistically the Baltimore Ravens performed very well. Guys who were backup stepped up. Guys who are trying to make this roster stepped up, and camp hopefuls also stepped up. So I want to highlight a few guys from last night's game who helped their case, and then some guys who um, may have lost an opportunity to make this Baltimore Ravens roster. That's the best way to say it for me. So first up, man, is no other than tight end Travis Vakolic. He is the tight end I spoke about yesterday. I called him Travis V. Uh, this kid is a UDFA out of Nebraska, and he just continues to perform. Right? You don't hear a whole lot about him in practice necessarily because he probably doesn't get a lot of opportunity. But in these preseason games, as Mark Andrews, excuse me, has not played, Isaiah Likely is a little banged up. So, he had an opportunity to kind of show what he can do. And he has 3 touchdowns in 2 preseason games. Last night's touchdowns were, um, a catch, from a few yards out and just a power move, using his brute strength, powering through guys to get into the end zone for a touchdown. And then the second touchdown was a catch in traffic where he pulled down the ball and, you know, scored 6. And so he wasn't really a receiving threat in college at all. So this may be, just some untapped potential that's left over that the Baltimore Ravens are now giving him an opportunity to uncover. This kid is 6'6", about 260 pounds, so he's a big guy. He's about 2 inches bigger than both Likely and Mark Andrews, and also Charlie Kolar. So this guy's a little bit bigger, and he is showing a very similar ability to catch the ball and make plays, things like that. He was known as an inline blocker, but he has definitely broadened his horizons this year in training camp with his first opportunity. I think he has, for me right now, I think his stock is up, and I think the Ravens need to go ahead and keep a close watch on him because they're not going to be able to slide this kid onto the practice squad. Not with his performances, not with what he's showing. I don't think they're going to be able to slide him on the practice squad. So I think they need to keep a close eye on him this week in training camp practices, and also let's look at what he does late in the game in week 3. I think this guy is making a case to get on this roster. So Travis Vocalic, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, uh, making some noise for sure. Um, the next guy is going to be UDFA Malik Ham. You guys have heard me talk about him repeatedly. I think that he didn't do a whole lot last night. 3 tackles, forced fumble, but he's been consistently, quote unquote, in the news for 2 weeks now. Performed well in week 1. Did not have the stats and the impact he had from week 1 in game number 2 of preseason, but still still made an impact on this game. And so he didn't hurt his case by no means. So good job to Malik Ham, UDFA camp hopeful, who is pushing for uh, one of those vacant spots on this Baltimore Ravens roster. Okay. Um, Another camp hopeful who actually performed well, but I had him in my stock down, was Keaton Mitchell. Had a big run, showed his speed, his quickness, and so he's continuing to make a push Not sure if he has had a real opportunity or will have a real opportunity to make this roster, but I think that his flashes um, are undeniable. His potential is undeniable. And so, again, if he doesn't make this Baltimore Ravens roster, he will make somebody's 53-man roster. I think it's a detrimental mistake if the Baltimore Ravens um, don't give this kid a real shot, because his his um, his dual threat ability is unmatched right now on this roster. Um, Another guy who was making some noise, but has probably lost a chance to really make this roster. Sean Ryan. I don't know if he really had a chance, but he had flashed in camp. He did flash in the first game, but I think due to injury, I'm not sure if he played last night. If he did, he didn't make any noise. And so Sean Ryan is probably more of a practice squad guy, which doesn't mean he doesn't have value, but I think he's more of a practice squad guy at this time. So those are the four camp hopefuls. I'm trying to go through my mind really quick and see if anybody else stood out from last night. I don't think so from the UDFA standpoint, but I certainly think those first um, those first two guys I mentioned, Travis uh, Vocalic. I don't pronounce his name three different ways, and also Malik Ham. I think that they are still making a push to get on this roster, and so congratulations to those young guys. If you guys know of any UDFA offensive linemen that kind of showed up last night, by all means, let me know. I don't really pay attention in the trenches unless it makes some type of noise on like the telecast that causes me to kind of pay attention to that. I didn't hear anybody, make any real noise last night along the offensive line from the UDFA section. But if you guys noticed something last night, man, somebody did some good work. By all means, let me know. So listen, those are my UDFA's, man, camp hopefuls. Um, I think those top two guys have a real chance to get on this roster. All right. I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.